Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to fill the form I-485 for the green card lottery winners. So basically, if you won the green card lottery and resides in the US, at the time you found that you have won the green card lottery, you need to do the adjustment of status within the United States. So one of the requirement is to file the form I-485 form, and today I will show you how to properly fill this form. And first you need to go to you need to find the form I-485, and it's listed on USCIS website, and be sure it's directly from the uscis.gov. Don't download it from any other places, because when you file this form you need to make sure that you are filing the correct form and the correct edition. So to get the edition, you go all the way down and check the edition. So it says March 10th of 2021, and if you file the wrong edition, then your application get rejected. And given that the diversity visa lottery have like a restricted timeline, sometimes you might not have to correct these errors. So be sure to find the edition of the form before you send it. So today, here you can find the form I-485, and here you can find the instruction. And before you do anything, I highly recommend you to download the instructions as well as the form, and please go through the instruction line by line. It explains everything by in details, so you won't miss anything. All right, so once you go everything in the instruction, then you can start filling the form I-485, because each individual has their own things. All right, so it might be not same as in this case. So today I will only show you I will show you how to fill the form I-485, but there are some cases that I don't have, but you might have those, so keep those in your mind. All right, so in form I-485, this is the edition I was talking about. This is the expiry date, and down here it should be the edition. See, it's March 10 2021. Okay, so make sure this edition is correct when you are filing, and also make sure the expire date. All right, and in this form, the first part, it's just for USCIS use only, so you don't need to fill any of the information in here. And in here you don't need to put anything in here, because this is to be completed by attorney or any representative. So if you are doing your adjustment of status by yourself, you should start from here. All right, okay, so start here. So, and remember, you can do two things. First thing is, you can fill it everything using a computer, or the other thing is you can print this out and fill it by a pen. And also make sure if you are doing that way, you need to use the black ink. Okay, don't use any other ink. And when you are filling through the computer, make sure you are using Acrobat Reader, not the PDF Viewer on the browser, any browser. All right, I will tell you later. So here I'm going to close this one here. I don't think I saved it. Okay, let me save this one first. Okay, I can download this one. Download it. Download form I-485. Okay, so once you have this one, I'm going to close everything here. Okay, and maybe reduce. All right, so as I said before, use the Acrobat Reader, because it has some JavaScript that will prevent you from filling some unwanted information. I will talk all those things later, but just for now, remember to use Acrobat Reader. So as I said before, you don't need to fill this part, and also you don't need to fill this part, and you start from here. So if you are a F1 student who came with the non-immigrant visa and you haven't had encountered with USCIS before, you shouldn't have a number. All right. If you never engage with USCIS, you don't have a number. So leave this blank. Don't fill anything. But if you are in other type of visa or immigrant type of visa, or if you have applied for OPT or any other thing, then you should have a number. If you have an A number, just print it here. All right, just type the A number. If you don't have, then don't fill anything in here. Okay, just leave it blank. And the next one is, so here we have part 1. So this is the information about yourself. All right, so it asking your current legal name. All right, so this is the name that you have in your passport. All right, it has to match with the family name and the given name and the middle name. All right, so in this case I'm going to type something like let's say my family name is A. All right, my given name is B. And if you have more than one family name, like you can, if you have something like this, then you can do that also. All right, and also in here I'm going to type CCC, and if you have more than one given name in your passport, you can do that. And if you don't have any middle name, leave it blank. Don't type NA. All right, because sometimes the USCIS get confused and put NA in your green card. That's the thing that you don't want to need. Right, if you don't have a middle name, leave it blank. And okay, so that's about your legal name. And if you go down, it's asking other names that you have used since birth. So you need to fill all the other names that you have used in the previous. All right, so let's say you have used your one of your, okay, I'm going to change this to D and E. Okay, let's say you have used your E name as your family name before. Then you can do this, and let's say you do D, and let's put it like this way. So if you also like choose your name in this way, you can do all these things. Like let's say you also have done something like this: A, B, C, and this is as a middle name, and this is as the last name. Okay, you need to put all the combinations that you have used in the previous. All right, and also if you don't have enough space, you can always go to the end of this document and fill those information as well. I will show you in a bit how we can fill those information as well. But for now, if you have enough space, then you can fill it from here. And also, let's say in one place you use your name as your first name as C, and your middle name as D, and your last name as E, and you never use this one also, you need to include that combination here also. All right, so that's about your name. And let's go to the other things. So this is the date of birth. All right, so you can always drop down this one and go to the year, and you can go to any year. Let's say 95 June 1st. Okay, this is how you select the date. So this is why it's important to use Acrobat Reader. Sometimes when you put the date in the wrong format, let's say you put June 1st as 1/6 and 1995, then that's going to be a problem. Okay, so always make sure go to drop down menu and select the year and the month and the date. Okay, just make sure everything is correct, because if you miss, or if you fill in a incorrect information, then what happens is when you do a background information, your information are not correct, so you need to redo that background information. But this is a diversity visa lottery, so it has a deadline of September 30th of the next year. So you need to make sure everything is correct. You don't need to go through the same procedure again and again. All right, so make sure everything is correct, and you can select your sex. Okay, I'm going to select male, and city or the town of birth. So this has to match with what it has on your birth certificate. All right, so usually in almost all birth certificates, they have the city or the town of the birth. So you can put okay, I'm going to put something like this. All right, and if your birth certificate doesn't have the city, just type wherever you were born. All right, and if you go to next page, and also here is another thing. So in every page, on the top of every page, you need to type your A number if you have any. If you don't have an A number, leave it blank. Don't type NA, because in the instruction it says write NA on the fields that don't apply to you, but in this case you don't type NA. All right, leave it blank. And this is the country of birth. You can put your country, and here the citizenship or the nationality, and you can put your citizenship and the nationality here. I'm going to put EEE, and here again it's asking A number if you have any. If you don't have, you can leave it blank. Basically, if any questions that ask with if any, you are safe to leave it blank. All right, so you can leave this blank. And also it's asking USCIS online account number. So basically, as I said before, if you never encountered with USCIS, you don't have online account number, so leave this blank also. All right, and in here it's asking SSN number. You can type your SSN number here. Right, if you don't have your SSN number, then type NA. But usually what happen in here is, if you try to type NA, it's asking enter only numbers. Okay, this is because this PDF has JavaScript enabled. It doesn't allow you to feel like unwanted information or wrong information. So if you try to type a letter here, you cannot type it. So this is why I highly recommend you to use Acrobat Reader. All right, and in any case, if you want to write something like NA in this field, I will show you how to do that later. But for now, leave it blank. All right. And in here, it's asking US mailing address. So this has to be your current address. All right. Or you can set another address if you are like in the process of moving within the time frame of the adjustment of status. Then you can type any mailing address that you have. Right, so in here it's in care of. So if you use someone other's mail address, then you can use their name. But if you are using your own mail address, you don't need to fill anything here. Leave it blank. And the street address is like 111 ABC Road, and here you can type the apartment number and city of town, CCCC, and state. I'm going to put AA, and zip code 12345. All right. Okay, so this is asking to make sure the zip code is correct. All right. You click OK, and then it's asking alternative or safe mailing address. So these are for specific case like this. You can feel if you are in a situation like this, you can fill some other address in here. But if you don't have such a thing, just type NA. All right, NA. So this is the NA I was talking about before. And street address, you can type NA. Apart in here, you don't need to tick anything, just type NA. Some of the field here, some of the field will complain that enter only letters or numbers, because when I try to put these symbols, like in these symbols, it doesn't allow you to. If you have encountered such a thing, I would recommend to leave them blank and come back later. I will show you how to fill those fields later. And city in here, in city also you cannot do that. And state, of course, you cannot do that. And zip code, no, you cannot do that. So I will come back to these later, but for now I'm going to leave them blank. Okay. And here it's asking immigration history. So here you have to put your passport number, your unexpired passport number. You can put like 1 2 3 4 5, and here it's asking travel document number. So the travel document number is an alternative for the passport number. People, those who don't use the passport, they use the travel documents. So if you use a passport to come to US, you probably don't have a travel number, so you can leave this blank. Okay, you don't need to fill this one. And expire date, again, just use the drop down menu and use the expire date. All right. And country of the passport or the travel document. All right. And here, if you use a travel document, put the travel document information here and delete the passport information. And in here, it's asking non-immigration visa number. So if you come to US with the non-immigration visa, like student visa F1, then you need to put that non-immigration visa number here. You can find that non-immigrant visa number on the F1 visa page. It should be in red letters, with starting with the letter and some numbers. All right. And here it's asking place of the last arrival into United States. So you can check this information if you go to I-94 online. Just Google I-94. It will get into this website. Make sure it's on the gov domain, and here you can see view your travel history. Okay, and you acknowledge it, and it will direct you to enter your information. So in here you have to put your first name, last name as it appears on the passport, and date of birth, passport number, and the insurance country. All right. So then when you click next, you can see your the last arrival place. All right. So you type that city name and the state and the arrival date. Okay. And in here it's asking when I last arrived in the United States. You have to tick one of these things. All right. So the first one was inspected at the port of entry and admitted as. Then you type. So if you are a I-485 student, you can type. So first you need to check the box, and you can type student. All right. And if you are in another status, you can put like temporary worker. So these are the examples. All right. And you need to select one of these boxes. All right. And here it's asking form I-95 arrival departure record number. So as I said before, if you go to this website, it will show you the latest I-94 form, and in that I-94 form you can find this arrival departure record number. Right. So you write that latest arrival departure record number in here. And in here it's asking expiration date of the authorized state shown on form I-94. So if you also again, if you go to your I-94, the latest I-94, it will show you the expiration date. All right. if the date is not a numeric number, like if it says like duration of status, like DS, like in here, I will show you, like in D. Okay, it doesn't allow me to type. Okay, I will type in here. If it says DS, this is the duration of status. All right. So if you have something like that, then you need to put DS in here. But remember, this will only allow you to type numbers. So I will come back to this later. All right. And again, this is asking status of form I-95. All right. In here, you can, if you are a F1 student, you can type F1. Again, it doesn't allow you to type numbers, so we can come back to this one later and leave it blank. And here it's asking what is your current immigration status, if it has changed since your arrival. All right, so if it doesn't, like you are still on the same status like before, you can leave this blank or type NA. But if you are still a student, you can just type F1. Right, it doesn't hurt. And here it's asking provide your name exactly. It appears on your I-94. Remember, in I-94 system, sometimes they only have specific length of the names. So if you have very long name, they might have truncated your name up to a certain character. So you need to provide the names that it appears on your I-94 form. All right. So in my case, it might be like AAA, only BB, 2 characters of D, and CCC, DDD. All right. And I don't, so it doesn't have EEE part. Okay. So you need to put all these correct information as it appears on the I-94 form. All right. So now it's asking application type or filing category, and here you need to review all these things. And for DV lottery based, you need to go to additional options. So all these are other categories, but this is for a diversity visa program, so you need to click here. All right. And in here it's asking, are you apply for adjustment based on the Immigration and Nationality Act section 245. All right. So in here basically it's asking, you need to review this one first before you answering, and make sure you what is your category. Okay, make sure that one. Here basically it's asking like you need to check these 3 statements. Have you physically inspected at the port of entry, and have you maintained your legal status? And the third one is, have you violated any conditions of your non-immigration or immigration status? All right. So if you haven't done anything, like if you haven't done anything wrong, then you can safely select no, which should be the case of the most of the time. But if you have violated any status of your status or any other thing, then you should consult a lawyer and put yes in here. All right. Otherwise, you should always put no. I mean, if you haven't done anything wrong. Okay. But if you have a complicated system, I highly recommend you to talk to a lawyer before you file this by yourself. Okay. And also it's explained in here what you must do if you answer yes. Okay. So let's go to next one. Application type of filing category continue. Okay. In here it's asking information about immigrant category. If you are the principal applicant, provide the following information. So in here what happened is, when you usually file the green card, first you need to apply for a petition. So for the DV cases, it's not the case. Okay. So for the DV cases, what you have to do is just put NA in here, right? Because this doesn't apply to you. So you put N. Again, it doesn't allow me to write numbers, so I'm going to leave it. And also for the date, priority date from the underlying petition, you don't have it. Okay, so type NA. It says not applicable to you. All right. So now it's asking about your derivative. Okay, so in this part it's saying that if you have another family member that is doing the adjustment of status with you, but you are the one who won the green card, and this is the derivatives part. So if you are a derivative, so this is only applies for those who are filling with the principal applicant. Okay, but if you are the only applicant, or if you are the principal applicant, you don't need to fill these things. Okay, just type NA. For again, it doesn't allow me to type NAs, so I will come back to this section again. So this part should be NA, 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 and this part should be NA. Right? So in the part 2, everything should be NA if you are principal applicant, or if you are the only applicant in your case. Alright, and in part 3 it's asking additional information. Have you ever applied for immigrant visa to obtain the permanent resident? Okay, you can answer your answer here. It can be the yes or no, but this is the other reason. Again, if I select no, remember, you see that you cannot feel anything. All right, if you press yes, then you are supposed to feel these things, right? So in my case I didn't, so I crossed the no. Now I don't even have to type NA in these fields. All right, so you can leave these fields blank. It's safe. All right, now in here it's asking about your address history. So first you start with your current address. So remember, you have to put your current address at first, because this is where they determine where is your resident, and they will forward your application to the field office that is very close to your resident. All right, so remember, the first physical address should be your current address. And again, you can type your street address here, and the apartment address, and city, town. And also, if you don't have an apartment, type NA. All right, and state you should have, zip code you should have, and the province. No, the province. You don't have a province, and you don't have a postal code within the United States. All right, so leave them blank. Don't fill anything in this area. And if you select here, I will show, if you select any state, this field will be filled with USA, so you don't need to put country separated. All right, and in here, as I said before, for the first physical address, the 2 will be filled as present. You cannot change it. All right, and the from date, you have to select, as I said before, use the drop down menu. Right, you don't need to mess up with the wrong date. Right, and this physical address 2, if you have any, put that, but if you don't have any, type NA for every field, here, 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 here. Okay, so next let's go to, okay, so this is the one of the part from the previous page. So type NA here if you don't have, but if you have, you should fill all this information. And in here it's asking provide your most recent address outside the United States. So in here you have to put your most recent address outside the USA. So in this case, you don't have a state. All right, so leave this blank, and you don't probably you don't have a zip code, so leave this blank. And sometimes you may have a province, sometimes you don't. If you have, type it down. You should have a postal code, type it down, and the country. All right, and in this case also, so okay, here's one of the another example. Let's say you have 3 addresses within the United States. So you have one field here, one field here, and you don't have the other field here, right? So you can go all the way down in here, in this field. You can enter those information, but don't use the don't use the field in here to fill your information within the United States. Okay, so you should always fill your information outside the United States in this area. All right, and also date of residence from 2 dates. Okay, and here is the employment history. So you fill your employment history, you type your company name, or if you are working at a university name, the street address, and if the company doesn't have apartment or floor number or suite number, then leave this blank. Okay, and the city, town, state, zip code, and leave this blank if they don't have, and the country, your occupation, and the date and the time. All right, so the other thing is, let's say you employed from 2000, let's say 2014 January 1st to first run should, so the first run, if you are still working in this place, you should type present, but it doesn't allow you to type anything in here. I will show you how you can write it down. So leave this blank for now. And let's say your previous job ended on, so this is 2014. Let's say your previous job ended on June 1st from say from 2000 January 1st. So let's say this is your first job, you started from 2000 January 1st and ended on June 1st of 2013, and your second job started at 2014. This is not the correct way to put it, all right, because in here you need to put your unemployment status as well. All right, so in this case, in this situation, you should put unemployed here, like in here, unemployed, and company name should be NA, street address and everything should be NA, and you should put the date. So this is 2000, from this should be 2013, 2013 January 1st, no, June, May 31st. All right, so this start from May 31st and end on 2014, no, it should be 2013 December 31st. Okay, so because your second job started on 2014 January 1st. All right, so this is how you fill it. And in here also, so since I have the other job starting after, so I had another job starting before this, you can use, as I said before, you can use this empty field to fill those information. All right, and remember, I think I put the wrong dates, because you don't need to go back so far. You only need to enter information up to 5 years, but make sure from the instruction. I might be wrong about that, but it should be with during the last 5 years, if I remember correctly. Yeah, history for the last 5 years. So if you are employed within last 5 years, you only need to fill this one. You can leave. You can. So if you only have one job, or if you are employed for more than 5 years, you only need to fill this one, and you can type NA for all these fields, right? NA 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 NA. All right. And here it's asking most recent employment outside the United States. So here you can write down your most recent employment outside the United States. But if you don't have any, just type NA for all the fields. All right. And here it's asking you about your parents. So type your parents' legal family name, given name, middle name. And sometimes also, like in your case, your father may have used different names, different family names and different middle names, so you can type those things here. And especially when most of the time your mom changed your family name, mom changed her family name to your father's name, so in that case you can use the other field as well. All right, so first it doesn't matter if you have distinct father or mother. In first you can choose whatever you want, and put the date of birth, and remember the drop down menu, and sex, city, town of birth, country of birth, and city, town currently residing. If they are not living, you can just put NA and also put NA here, but other than that you need to type the current city of residence. Okay, and next we can go to parent number 2. So it should be your mom. If you first use your father's information, then this should be your mom's information. Fill the same thing as before, and then it will ask you about your marital information. You can select what's your status, single, married, divorced, widowed, anything. All right, so you need to be truthful about this everything, okay, not just this question. And also it's asking if you are married, is your spouse a current member of US Armed Force or US Coast Guard? So you need to put the correct answer here. And it's asking how many times you have been married. So you can put the number here. If you only married just one, put 1. All right. So, and if you are single, put single here and put 0 here. All right. Then if you are married, then it's asking about your current marriage. So you need to include your spouse information, first name, last name, middle name. If he or she doesn't have a middle name, leave this blank, don't put anything here. And if they don't have an A number, leave this blank. And the spouse date of birth, and marriage date, and city or the town of the spouse place of birth, and the state, province, country. And this is asking the place of marriage, and you can input all the information. If anything is not applicable to you, just type NA. It doesn't allow me to type NA. I will show you how to do that later. So in here it's asking, is your current spouse applying with you? So if she is also doing a derivative application, put yes. All right, but if she is not applying with you, then put no. Okay, then so this is where you enter your information about your prior marriages. So you can put all this information, but if anything doesn't apply to you, just type NA. And for an example, if you only married to one time, or if you are single, then all these fields are not relevant. So you type NA. Okay, so it doesn't allow me to type any symbol. So all these fields in here, everything should be NAs. All right, and also if you are single, all these fields should be NAs. All right, and let's go down, and this is the three part of the question from the previous page, so these should be also NAs. And in here it's asking information about your children. So if you don't have children, type none. Okay, don't put 0, you should type none. But it doesn't allow you to type none in here, so I will leave this blank for now. I will come back to this later. All right, and if you have a children, just type 1 and type the name. If you have 2, type 2, and you can type names. And if they don't have a number, just leave them blank. And also you have to choose, is this child applying with you, yes or no, same as before. But if you don't have anything, just type none here, and type NA for all the fields. Okay, so it has like child 1, child 2, child 3, so you can put NA for all these fields. All right, and here it's asking biographic information, so you can select ethnicity, race, height, weight, eye colors, hair colors, so everything should match with your appearance. And here it's asking about general eligibility and inadmissibility grounds. Have you ever been member of, involved in, or in any other association? So answer all these questions truthfully. In here it's asking if you are involved with any organizations. Sometimes this is for students, they have memberships with some journals or conferences. So if you have those memberships, you should select yes, and you should type this information and the nature of the group. You can type like scientific organization, something like that. All right, if you don't have any memberships, or if you are not any member of any organization, you can put NA. So all these fields will be the gray out, so you don't need to even fill NAs for these fields. All right, and in here it's asking a lot of questions about you, like have you ever been denied admission to the United States. So from here to, I think there are 80 questions. From here to here, you should be truthful as much as possible. If you don't know the answer, just make sure you are choosing the correct answer. All right, don't just put yes or no. All right, just read it carefully and go to the instruction and read it once more, and make sure you are clicking the correct answer. All right, so these are all those questions. And in here it's asking about the accommodation. So again, it's also asking to read the information of the instruction, and are you requesting accommodation because of your disability. If you have disability, click yes and read the instruction, but if you don't have any disability, click no. And here it's asking I'm deaf, Okay, so if you click no, it doesn't allow you to click anything here, right? If you click yes, then it will allow you to click something and fill all those information. In my case, it's no. So I can move forward, and in here it's asking applicant statement. In here you have to pick one of these sections. I can read, understand English, or you can use an interpreter. It's up to you. So in my case, I select this one, and at my request they prepare. So if someone assists you to fill this form, you need to enter their information in here. These are usually professional people, so if you just use like someone's opinion, or if you have like few questions to be answered and got it from the other people, then it's okay not to tick one, but be truthful about everything in here. All right, and here you can type applicant daytime telephone number, and if you only have one mobile number, you can put in here, and you don't need to put anything here, but remember it has to be in here. If you only have a mobile number, it has to be in here, and mobile number you can leave it blank, and email address, you should put your email address in here, because sometimes the field office contact you using your email address, so make sure your email address is correct. All right, and read everything here. Applicant declaration and certification, you need to read everything in here, and also make sure that if you are a male who is between 80 to 26, you need to register with selective services system. So go through with all these things, and at the end you need to sign it here. Remember, you need to use a pen to sign these things. You cannot just type your ABC or whatever the name. Okay, and even if you try to do that, it doesn't allow you to. Okay, you see, it doesn't allow you to, but you can select the date though. But if you are using a pen here, highly recommend put the date in here also. You don't need to select the date here, just write the date. All right, and again the other parts is asking the interpreter's contact information, but if you don't have any interpreters, just leave them blank, don't write anything. All right, in any field, just leave them blank, and everything in here to here, full name, everything, preparer, everything, you should leave them blank if you haven't used any of those services. All right, and in here to here also blank. Yeah, up to here everything should be blank, and this part is just to be filled at the interview. Okay, so do not complete any of these before you go to interview. So during the interview, the field officer may ask you to sign this application. All right, so you do that in front of the field officer, not when you are sending the application. Okay, so leave these things blank. And okay, so this is the part that I talked before, like if you have extra names or addresses or employment, you can use this field, and this family name or the first name or the given name, everything should be automatically filled when you fill the first page, so you don't need to worry about this part. And if you put your alien number in the first page, it should also appear in here, but since I don't have any number, it's not there. You don't need to write anything, even you don't need to write any in here, just leave them blank. And in here, let's say you have an extra name that doesn't fit in here, so you go here, you look at the page number, so it's page number 1. All right, and the part number, so it's part number 1. So page number 1, part number 1, and the item number. So the item number can be 4A, 4B, 4C. Alright, if you are putting just a name, alright, 4A, 4B, 4C. So you go all the way down, and page number is 1, part number is 1. The item number you can type 4, just 4. Okay, in here you can type first name A B C D E F, last name or the given name, whatever, last name, something like that, and the middle name. If it's blank, just leave it blank. Okay, and also if you have, let's say you have an address somewhere, where did I put the address? This, okay, in here. So you look at the page number, it's page 4, part number is 3, so 4 3, you can use 7. Okay, 437, 437. In this case you can type like 7A, the street address, something like that. 7A street address, 7B, 7C, 7D. So 7 to 8. Okay, so you can type like 7A, 7B, and whatever the information, like 123 road, and apartment number 123, and 7C. You get the point, right? Okay, not here, should be in here, 7C, right? So that's how you basically fill the I-485 form initially. But remember, when we are filling the form, we skip a lot of fields because it doesn't allow us to fill those information. So the way we can fill those information is, make sure you save it before you do this. All right, so once you save it, go to preferences in the Acrobat Reader and go to JavaScript. Right, in here you should see it as enable Acrobat JavaScript. So disable it by clicking it. Okay, so now in here the JavaScript is not enabled. You see, even the dates, you can type names and it will give you a warning like JavaScript is currently disabled. But don't worry, because in here you are trying to fix some errors that you missed before. All right, so in this case, so for an example, if you don't have a social security number, you can put NA. All right, and here also you can put NA, 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 and this case it doesn't allow you to type anything, so leave it blank for now. Leave it blank for now. I will show you how to do that later. So this, the only exception for this method is the state, because state you have selected, you cannot type anything. But for now you can just leave it there. And yeah, basically anything that doesn't apply to that I described before, you can type NA. I'm trying to see what are the other fields. Okay, here you can find NA, you see, everything you can type NA. Right, so that's how you basically fill all those fields that doesn't apply to you. And once you finish everything, you can save this. you can save this as and go to downloads, and maybe if you want to save the original file in a separate file, you can do this. And now close this one. If you use your browser, it will show you all the information that you feel, but still here it doesn't allow you to type NA. Okay, this is the other thing, that if you use browser, you can type NA at any places, even if the JavaScript is enabled. You see, you can type anything. That's why it's not recommended to use the browser's PDF viewer initially, because there were some of the fields that wasn't required to be filled, like in this case. You see, this field you don't need to fill. Anyway, so what I was going to say is, if you cannot fill the states, just print it out and use a black ink to fill those places like NA. All right, but if you are not comfortable with that one, you can use something called Foxit reader. All right, you can download the Foxit reader, and in that reader you can find something called typewriter. All right, there should be option, there should be option called typewriter, with the with the typing symbol. Then you click that typing symbol and go to these places and click it here. All right, once you click it here, it will put a text box on top of here, so you can type whatever you want. So in that case, you can type NA for the states as well, but if you are not, if you don't want to do that, then you can just print this out and handwrite the states like NA. All right, so this is pretty much about it, how you fill the form I-485 for the green card lottery winners. And this is just a demonstration. You need to go through all the instructions, as I said before. In here you can find all these instructions. Just go through with everything. Be sure to understand everything, and it will generally give you some overview about everything, how your package should looks like asking you to send you like photographs, how many photographs you need, and it includes all the information. All right, and one final thing is, if you have any questions about the adjustment of status based on the diversity visa process, you can always type DV AOS help, Google DV AOS help, and you will find something like this: www.dvadjustmentofstatus.com. Go to this website. It has all the information that you need for your adjustment of status application. All right, you can do your adjustment of status application by yourself, and it has all these steps. If you go down here, it will show you what are the steps. Okay, so here it's saying like DS260 form and receive the second notification later, and how you prepare the DV fee, and how you get the DV fee receipt, and how you do the medical information, what are the things that you need to include in the adjustment of status package, and receive the notice of action, and receive the notification letter, and how you do the biometrics, and interview letter, and how to do the interview. All right, So go to this website and you can find a lot of information. And also if you go to FAQ, you can find all the common questions that you have. They probably have a lot of questions and answers. So use this website, and I think you can always go to contact us and ask them any questions if you have. So that's one of the extra information anyway. So this video, as I said before, I show you how to fill the form I-485, and this is just a demonstration, not a legal advice. So everything has to be by yourself or with a lawyer or any other legal representative, and I'm not responsible for your application. This is just to say, okay, but this is basically how I filled the information, and this is how I got the green card, and I just want to share my experience with you. All right, so I hope this will help you guys. If you have any questions, comment below. I will try to answer them. And also, if this helped you, I ask you to subscribe my channel. It will help me. All right, so okay then, until next video, bye bye.